I have probably the world's hottest and certainly most respected drummer, was known as the Catman, PETER CRISS.
Thank you. That's a great introduction.
Peter, it's an honor to talk to you, really. Members of the KISS Army all over the world were really shocked to hear the news that you had quit the band. Can I ask you what happened exactly there?
Music indifference.
Right.
You know, I just wanted to do my own thing. And you know, I'm not just a drummer. I am a singer and composer.
Yeah.
And when I wrote Bats, which was a very big smash, and I won People's Choice for it, it got me thinking, and then I did my first solo album, which was up for 2 Grammys. That got me thinking more. And I just didn't want someday at 40 to say, did I make it because of makeup and bombs, or could I have made it on my music ability?
Right.
And the boys understood, and we're still best of friends. You know, after 10 years, it's a long time.
Do you remember that advertisement you placed in the classifieds, available, a drummer who would do anything to make it?
Oh, yes.
Well,
really? It worked out.
It certainly did. You certainly achieved that. Your solos on the rising drum platform, of course, were one of KISS's most spectacular effects. Now,
well, I designed that, you know, which I'm very proud of.
Right. You've got a new album out now called Out of Control, haven't you?
Yes, I think you like it. I hope so.
What are your plans for the near future after the album takes off?
Well, I'm working with my new band.
Yeah.
Right now, and we're rehearsing and getting ready to tour.
Was it hard to get members for the band?
It took quite a few auditions till I found the right boys, but I think I found them, and they're really good. And it consists of a piano and synthesizer organ, drums, 3 guitars, and sax. And
right.
Singing in the front.
You're not playing drums?
I will drum in the show, but it'll basically, you know, I will be lead singer.
We wish you every success for part 2 of your career.
Oh, thank you.
But one of our favourite memories, of course, is when you wrote and sang Beth for your wife Lydia. Beautiful song,
well,
that.
It wasn't necessarily for her. It was for any, you know, for any girl or lady that was going with a man, you know, who has a career, who's seldom home, and wishes he was home, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
And now I have a gorgeous wife, and we're expecting a baby in March.
Really?
Yeah.
What are you hoping for?
As long as it's healthy. Really.
When can we expect to see you in Australia?
I wish I was there now. I really do, you know? It's one place I've always wanted to play. I've got such great awards from there, such great fan mail that, God, I'm dying to play there.
On behalf of the KISS Army of not only Sydney but Australia, we want you to know that, well, we love the Fox, but we still love you too, and we'll never forget what you gave us.
Thank you, really. I appreciate that.
Peter, is there any message you'd like to give to your Australian fans through 2SM?
All I wish is I was there tonight performing for them. With all my heart, I really mean that.
If I hear you calling.
Peter, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate your time to talk to me anyway.
Oh, thank you. Really. I appreciate it.
PETER CRISS, who is the ex-drummer of KISS, he's now gone solo, got a new album. We talk to him next. And from the United States this afternoon, PETER CRISS. Hello, Peter.
How you doing?
I'm well, thank you. How are you?
Pretty good.
That's the way.
Real good. Actually.
Well, we've got some of your friends over here in Australia at the moment.
Yes, you do.
In fact, there was some rumours that you possibly may have been coming out with them. At the national press conference, I asked the guys, and they said that you're very busy at the moment promoting your album over there and couldn't make it.
Yeah, I am, and I'm putting my new band together, which I have.
Right.
And promoting my album and doing tons of interviews. and I want to come over there with my band and play.
Peter, how hard was it for you to make that decision to leave KISS?
I thought it was thought about for quite some time. It really was.
And what was
after my big success with Beth, which was I won a People's Choice. It was a smash hit.
Right.
It started me thinking. I started to get a lot of letters to why aren't you writing more songs, and we don't hear enough of you, and that got me thinking, and I finally did my solo album, and that was up for 2 Grammys, and that made me very happy, and I just wanted, to be more. I'm a singer and a composer and writer, and not just a drummer, and I wanted to do my own music.
Right, let's talk about your album, Out of Control. Now, 9 out of the 10 cuts are written by yourself and 2 other guys, Stan Penridge and David Walford. Now,
right.
I know Stan worked with you on your first solo album, but these 2 guys...
Stan and I have been together for a good 12 years. We've been writing for years.
Oh, was Stan in the Lips with you earlier on, was he?
Oh, yeah, we wrote that together. And a lot of the songs I wrote for Kiss, we wrote together.
Right.
And my first solo album we wrote together, and this one, and he'll be in my band.
Great. Oh, well, that's good. So it's friends and talent all rolled into one.
Oh, yes. And it was a thrill because I produced it and sang every song and wrote everything and drummed and designed the cover. So it's exciting.
I can imagine.
It was just a matter of a musical indifference. That's why I split from the boys. I didn't want to, at the age of 40, say, God, did I make it because of makeup and bombs or talent, And I never want to ask myself that. So I said, now's the time to do it.
Right,
and
right.
now's the time to play my own music. And Kiss is heavy stuff. And I feel that if I wasn't given 110 to them, it's not fair. And I love songs, and I love R&B, and I wanted to do my own thing.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Peter, does composing come easy for you?
Yes.
I
It
understand.
really does. As long as I've been drumming, and I started at 9, I've been writing and singing just as long, but I was always, known as a drummer. And now it's great to see writer-composer.
Lovely.
It's a thrill.
I can understand what you're saying. And, of course, that means that you wouldn't have much more trouble getting more material ready for even another album after Out of Control.
Oh, I have at least 30 songs already.
Goodness.
Oh, really? I'm ready.
Well, listen, let's get into the single off the album. Here in Australia, it's By Myself. Is it the same over there? Now,
yes.
Yeah, right. Now, a couple of things could be interpreted into this song. It could be a love song about someone who's split up from their lover, or it could be you splitting up from the band.
It is. It's a self-explanatory biography. That's 3 big words. It's kind of starting all over again. It's not really a down song. It's like I'm going to make it, on my own, which is thrilling. I want to see if I could do it again.
Well, so many people have to do that when they break up a love affair as well.
Yeah, exactly. And after 10 years, that's a long time.
Yes. Let's play the song now. This is the new single off the brand new Peter Criss album. The album's called Out of Control. The single's called By Myself. Pete, can you hang on?
Sure.
Good on you, mate. We'll play it on the air now on 3XY. Peter Criss, By Myself. 3XY with Greg Evans this afternoon, and on the line from the United States of America, we're talking to Peter Criss, drummer, composer, singer, songwriter, all that. Talking about Pete's brand new album, which is called Out of Control, and that was one of the songs off it, and there's so many other great tracks on it. Personally, Pete, I think it's a fabulous album. I think you've done really well.
Thank you.
Such a contrast from Kiss. And so nice. And I notice you've done a version of You Better Run on there. Pat Benatar has got a big hit with that in Australia at the moment.
It's amazing. I did it, and I didn't say anything, and we didn't put it out. I loved the Rascals, and I wanted to redo it.
Right.
And next thing I know, I'm hearing the radio one day, and there it is. And it was a little shocking. And my first album, I wanted to do. Was it Cupid?
Right.
And then my producer said, no, it'll never make it. It went #1.
That's right,
baby. Next time I decide to do somebody else's song, I ain't going to say nothing. I'm going to keep it to myself.
Right indeed. Pete, what about this? What about this band of yours taking it on the road now? Does it bother you much playing to smaller audiences? I imagine you've been used to the big crowds that Kiss gathered, and now you'd be probably playing to smaller audiences. How does that affect you?
Well, you know, it's fun. Believe it or not, things in the music business right now, the big halls are not happening. Even big bands can't. It's rough for them to play for 30,000, 20,000 people. It's just rough to get, you know, $12.50 for a kid to go. And clubs are coming back in. I mean, they're making clubs now where there's 3,000 people. And I dig it. I want to get back to clubs and get in touch with my fans again. I think it's exciting.
Well, Peter, it sounds like as if you're a bit of a workaholic, and obviously you love what you do, but you wouldn't be doing it for a buck because you must have come out at a Kiss with a fair few dollars under your belt.
I'm comfortable.
So it's basically done for love.
Yes, it is. I just want to be happy and give the world my music. That's the real truth.
What about now no makeup for you? I noticed that you haven't got a picture of yourself on the front of the cover of the album. Is this for any special reason?
Yeah, I still wanted to keep the mystique for a while. And my lucky number's 3. And my next album will be my 3rd album. So I'm going to call it PETER CRISS 3, and then I'll put my picture on it.
On the front. Well, of course, you can't...
And I'm sporting a beard these days. And I chop my hair a little shorter.
Right.
And I'm being myself, and it's fun. People recognize me, and it's great.
Good. Well, of course, you can't hide yourself on stage these days, so that's an added bonus for anybody who comes to see the band live. They get to see you.
Which I'm a little scared, but it's exciting.
Pete, listen, there's so many great tracks on this album. I don't know what to play next. I Found Love, or There's Nothing.
You love it. That's great.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I Found Love I particularly liked, and again, There's Nothing Better. Words. It's hard for me. What's one of your favorites?
I like them all. You know, I'm prejudiced.
Why don't we play?
I really am.
Why don't we play I Found Love? Because I think you're the sort of guy who's found it.
Okay.
Okay.
Sure.
We'll wish you all the very best at this point. When do you think we might see you in Australia, Peter?
God, I wish tomorrow. You know, if I could come over tomorrow, I would. And I will be over there, and I can't wait. I really can't. It's exciting. I want to come over there and play so bad.
Okay,
really.
Peter. Lovely talking to you this evening. Thanks very much.
Pleasure.
Thank you, Pete. We'll go out with I Found Love, and good luck with the album.
Thank you very much.
PETER CRISS on 3XY. 3XY with Greg Evans and PETER CRISS from his latest album, which is called Out of Control. It's available in the record bars now. You should do yourself a favour and grab a copy and have a listen. I think as the years roll by, we're going to see some real nice material from ex-drummer of Kiss, PETER CRISS. And that's why I Found Love. It's bang on 6:30 now at 3XY with Greg Evans.
We're talking today with PETER CRISS, formerly a member of the group Kiss. And today you won't get a chance to see his face, but expect to see that very, very soon. Hello,
Hi.
Peter.
How you doing?
I'm doing just fine.
It's good to see you.
Tell me, first of all, how does it feel to be away from the group after being with such a successful group for such a long period of time?
I miss the boys, I really do, but I'm extremely happy these days because I think 10 years, I mean, if the Beatles could break up, you know, I could leave something, and I love the Beatles.
Right.
And leaving the band, I thought about it for at least 3 years now. I mean, it wasn't an overnight decision for me. And it was long coming since when I wrote Beth, and I felt so proud of having a #1 record. It kind of gave me a lot of initiative to say, well, man, I like to do more of that. And I was kind of being held back in a sense as an artist of not having my fair share of abuse, I call it. And I just didn't get enough tunes, and it was getting really frustrating for me. And towards like the last tour, we did something like 90 shows in 6 months. And I said that, you know, I went on after I got married, went on my honeymoon. I was in Brazil, and I said, that's it. You know, I just can't do that no more. I'm really tired. It's not fair for them or myself to go up there, and it's not fair to the audience. I'm not giving. I called it 110. And I told the guys when I got back, and they were shocked, and they felt bad. And they said, is that what you really want to do, Peter? And I says, look it, man. I played for 60,000. as people, and as far as financially, I'm very comfortable. And it's not the money, guys. It's the music. I'm really hurting as an artist, and I got to break out, and I got to try my own thing. And if I don't do it now, I don't want to ever think back and go, God, could I really have made it on my own talent? You know, was I really that good to get a People's Choice Award or be up for 2 Grammys? So that's what kind of gave me the incentive to split.
He was here in makeup the last time, and tonight he is here in his real face. He has now left the organization known as KISS, and he'll talk to us about leaving that group, working without makeup, his new career, and whatever else comes into his mind. We have some photographers here in the studio tonight.
I brought it with me.
No, I know you might have brought one with you, but we have 5 or 6 people on the floor. Everybody wants to take your picture without your makeup on. This is your first appearance on television.
Yes, it is.
No makeup.
Well, I thought I didn't look like the Elephant Man, so I may pass.
Are you a little nervous about appearing without the makeup now? Why? You look terrific.
Thank you, but it's different for me. You know, it's 10 years looking like the cat.
Yeah.
It is a long time. And last time we were on your show, we had such a great time. And when you're behind the face, you could have all the games you want. But now it's like, Peter, be yourself. And I go, oh, how do I do that? I really don't know myself for a while.
Do people recognize you now when they see you? Do they know who you are after all the years of being the cat?
They're starting to. I did a thing for People not long ago, which I was happy with and not happy with, but it was great. And so I went to a Wall Bounds, which I don't know if I could knock the name, but I was there shopping for my wife, which I'm going to be a father. I could say it on TV and watch my wife and have a baby. And these checkout girls, and then they go, "You're him." And I said, "Who's him?" They go, "You're him." And I said, "God, I hope I really am." So I signed some autographs, so they're starting to, and it feels nice.
Doesn't it, though?
Yeah.
Recognition. What about walking in the building here this afternoon? Any problems getting
It was great. It was a lot of my fans were downstairs, and they were really cheering me on. It felt real good. But when they said, "Can we take your picture?" I was such in the habit of going, no. I went, what am I doing? I can have my picture taken.
What about the good old days with KISS? They're behind you now. And whenever a group breaks up, as the Beatles broke up, or whenever a member leaves, people say, well, KISS will never be the same, and Peter will never be the same. Have you worked that all through and figured it out?
I haven't changed as much. I'm still crazy from being with those 3 maniacs for 10 years.
Ace, Gene,
oh, God.
Paul.
They all send their regards to you. They all call me today. And I do miss throwing TVs out windows and drilling through walls. But it's a new career for me, and my new album, it seems like it's going to do really well. And it's music that I've always wanted to play, and it's kind of ballads with R&B, and it's mixed. And I'm getting a band together, and I'll be touring real soon.
Take me through television sets going out of windows and drilling through fireplaces. I'm not sure I recall the
Ace and
stories.
I were the total outlaws of the group.
Ace was the guy who threw all the furniture out of the hotel room one night, or was that you?
It was both of us.
All right.
I'm not going to take the whole blame.
Okay.
So we once had this idea of how to get rid of a road manager. So we were in this hotel, and it had this golf course behind it. So we had a rented car. We figured, let's get his rented car and roll it down the golf course. And he'll be fired, of course. And then we got the car up there, and I said, wait a minute, Ace, this is going to be very expensive. Can't we just fire him? And so we gave up the idea. And we used to drill through, once we were in hotels, and we got lonely, the 2 of us. So we went out and bought Black & Decker tools and went through the wall and visited one another. And we paid a lot of money.
I say, you have to pay for that when you leave the hotel.
You do.
Do you ever feel that you're giving the music industry a bad name when you do things like that?
No, they love it.
It's a funny thing. We were in London some years ago at the, I forget the hotel there. In fact, they wouldn't let us stay there because a rock group had been in the week before and absolutely destroyed the place. I think they chopped up a piano.
It was probably us.
No, I don't think it was. But why do groups do things like that?
It's frustration. It really... I was thinking about it now that I could really look at it more clearly. And there's times when you're out there and it's like 9 months and you want to be home for Christmas and Thanksgiving and the holidays, and all of a sudden you hear you can't, maybe. And you go back to the room and you kind of break a few things up. It might not be right, but you do it.
The last time all 4 of you were here, and I was, the 5 of us were together is what I'm trying to say. I didn't want to bring this up. I remember Ace telling the story about the furniture going out of the hotel and then making believe he was drunk, and the road manager bringing in the cops and saying, look, he's drunk and somebody else did it to cover the thing.
Right.
I mean, do you guys get plastered out there a lot, or did you get bombed a lot, or were you smoking stuff, or putting things in your nose or stuff like that?
We were drinking moderately. KISS was never really into drugs. We really weren't. you work so hard, to get here, because I grew up in Brooklyn, and I love it there. I haven't been there in years, and it took me a while to get here, and I don't want to, blow it. So I've seen so many great stars just do that, and you got to learn by that. I mean, recently John Bonham, who's a great drummer, passed away, and Keith Moon, a lot of other great guys, and it's just sad that great artists like that just do themselves in.
In the musical fraternity, the star fraternity and sorority, if you see somebody going a little bit crazy with the drugs, do you ever call them aside and say, "Hey, what are you doing to yourself? What are you trying to do to yourself?"
Yeah, but it's funny. You could do that, but if a person is so far gone, they're just going to say, hell with it, and walk the other way and still do it.
Yeah, keep out of my life.
But
don't worry about me.
You try anyway, you try.
You said you love Brooklyn. You haven't been there for a long time. Why not?
I think it's not there.
Oh, it's there.
I think they leveled it, because I was in Williamsburg. I grew up in Williamsburg, which is a really tough neighborhood, and I started...
it's rough.
Oh, very. And I started getting gray hair at 16, and in that neighborhood, it looked like I was doing it. So I did a lot of running, not jogging, running home, so I wouldn't get beat up. It's rough times there.
Mom and Pop had an antique store?
Yeah, and they love it, and they're doing great.
They still have it?
They still have it, but it's they're not. They're in Greenpoint now. They're living in another section of Queens. It seems everybody lives in Queens, except for me. But everybody lives.
Well,
in
what
Queens.
kind of antiques do they have there? Are you into antiques at all?
I love antiques, yes, and I love collecting old toys, old antique toys. I love.
Are you kidding me?
Oh, I love it.
Oh,
I have a great collection.
Let me swap a couple of notes with you on that, because I've got some good numbers.
I heard.
But I got commercials waiting. We'll be back with Kiss. We'll be back with Peter Criss right after these announcements. Don't leave.
Great. They're the best.
When it came time for you to leave Kiss, did you go to Gene, Paul, Ace, and say, "Hey guys, I kind of want to go my own way"? How did that happen?
Yeah. That's exactly what I did. It was just a music difference, and we're still best of friends. And in the early days, we kind of went into investments together, and we're still sharing. But I'm not a businessman. I'm a rock and roll musician. But like I said, they all called this morning. They all said hello to you and wished me the best of luck, and they're all behind me. And Gene says all the clippings that are recently out of me, he's got a scrapbook just on me. So they're all behind me, and it's nice.
Where did the makeup start for Kiss?
We just started a long time ago. I always wanted to do theatrics in music, and so did the boys. And we worked and worked and worked at it till we got it down. And my mother would make T-shirts and put Kiss in glitter and, I don't know, $1.98 Woolworths T-shirts or something or other. And we kept it up. And we got such a great fans that kept really behind us, and it made it.
For those people who have never seen Kiss in concert, we've got some videotape, I think, of Peter when he was a drummer with the band. This is silent, so we'll have to talk over it, but it'll be popping up on the screens here in just a couple of seconds. I don't know if this will show you going 30 feet off the floor. I guess not. I guess you're just in your ground position there.
Well, it's amazing to see myself do that.
Oh, surely you've seen this kind of thing before.
But I haven't seen it for a while.
Didn't I see a thing somewhere where the KISS logo, you changed the last two S's because it looked like the Secret Service or not the
SS.
The SS in
Germany. They wouldn't allow it, and they changed all our albums to go that way, and they dismissed it. And we never did it. Ace came up with the logo, and it was just lightning bolts. It had nothing to do with the Nazi army or anything like that.
Well, we once put an N up for NBC, which had nothing to do with the state of Nebraska, but we got called on it. So sometimes you do things very well intentioned, and then you have to give a lot of money to people or change the idea of what you want to have as your logo.
I know.
Where'd you get the toy hobby?
I've always loved toys.
Me too. Me too.
It's amazing. My wife's killing me these days. The baby coming on the way, I'm going out and buying Lionel trains and electronic football games, and I'm playing with them, and the kid ain't even here yet. And I'm bringing frogmen in the tub, and, she's cleaning up boats and stuff, and it's exciting. But I've always loved toys, especially the old ones. And today you're having like a Flash Gordon, I should say, on tonight. And I used to see his series and was amazed at those rocket ships. And I have an original Flash Gordon rocket ship, and watches I have an old Mickey Mouse watch, and anything with Hopalong Cassidy stuff and all.
What is the oldest thing you have in your collection? Can you think of it just off the top of your head?
I think an original Howdy Doody button, fan club button.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've got a thing from, it had to go back now to the 30s. There used to be a radio show called Fibber McGee and Molly. You and I would both remember that.
Mm-hmm. Well, I was a little younger, but I remember.
How old are you?
33.
Oh, yes, you are a little younger. Yeah. You are prematurely gray.
Well, my beard's black and my hair's green.
Yeah, but they had a little, it was sponsored by a wax company, and they made little tops, you know, the little round circle of metal with the peg through it, and you just spin it around the table, and there are pictures of Fibber McGee and Molly on the damn thing.
That's worth a fortune.
And all shows used to have, oh, it's not worth a fortune.
They're worth, you'd be amazed at how many collectors would buy that from you for a lot of money.
Oh, I know.
Really?
I know. There's a man who runs a Mickey Mouse shop here in Manhattan that we've been to visit.
Wow.
He's got going back into when Mickey Mouse was first invented.
It's like a little stick-type character.
Yeah,
wow.
exactly.
That's great.
Exactly.
That's great stuff. And they sell that stuff and make a lot of money. I mean, when I was in California, I always go to Disneyland. You have to go to Disneyland. It's great.
No, you don't have to go to
You
Disneyland.
have to go to Disneyland. And being there was amazing that this man created this world, I mean, of everything there. And I was astonished. I love it there.
To show you what happens to toys, remember when you were a kid, did you ever have the fire engine? It had a little thing on the front bumper that when the fire engine went into the wall, it tripped a spring and the ladder unfolded and went up.
No.
Now, this damn thing might have sold for $1.99 in the 1940s, and I saw one at FAO Schwartz about a year ago up here on Fifth Avenue. All right? $250.
My God.
Okay? You want to talk about inflation?
No.
And I thought for a second, and I said, hey, wait a minute. It's only a toy fire engine.
Well, I love also soldiers, right? Especially the iron ones, which are really rare. And I passed the store the other day myself, and they were going for like $300 a soldier. Just a little iron soldier.
Can I ask you about your earring?
Sure.
We've had some guys on this show, and I never have asked them about their earrings because I thought maybe it indicated something.
Ace pierced my ear, that's all.
Maybe it indicated something that they didn't want to talk about at the time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you're married and having a kid, so...
That doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
Doesn't matter. Today, nothing matters. You wear 2 earrings and a dress, and it went back.
Means you go...
Okay.
Well, how come you got that earring? Why do guys wear earrings?
I dig it. I like the way I look at it. I really do. It makes me feel... Earrings started years ago with pirates, which made them very swashbucklers and outlaws and all. And it makes me feel... I don't know. I just like the way I look at an earring. I feel very... it makes me feel different.
Okay, but it's not a statement of I am for something
straight,
against...
No, I am gay. No, nothing like that. I just like it. I just like it in my ear.
Are you at home now till the child is born, or are you still doing concerts, still on the road?
I'm working now on my new band, putting them together, and I'm going out like on promotional tours to radio stations, and I'm doing this show, which is real great, and I'm really got my fingers crossed that my fans are going to still go with me with my new career, my new music, and hope that they still like it.
And your new album, which is called Out of Control.
Yeah.
Although Don't Be.
I got that title because that's what they used to say about me. Peter, you're totally out of control. And I said, geez, I'm going to call the album that. But
I'll tell you, the last time the guys were here, the only time that they were here, afterwards I said, these guys are really wacko. These people are not sane. Then afterwards the makeup comes off, and here are 4 fairly respectable, sober, thinking, intelligent human beings.
Not all of us are sober, but...
Not all the time, but then again, who is?
I don't know.
No. A little wine with breakfast can't hurt.
Or lunch and dinner.
Exactly. No. You know, you're driving me to drink. Last night the man drove me to Brooklyn, tonight he's driving me to New Jersey. Mr. Chris, thank you for being with us
Thank you, Tom.
And all best to you.
Thank
Mr.
you.
Peter Chris. We'll be right back now after these announcements, so you stay with us.
For years, people wanted to see Peter Criss. He's one of KISS's founding members, and he's here without his protection.
It's a pleasure being here.
Yes, and while we were chatting during the break, you were saying you're a new daddy.
Yes, I'm going to be a father, and it's my first one, and I'm a nervous wreck.
Oh, well, I mean, that's to be expected.
Well, I don't know. You know, I'm going. We're having natural birth, and I'm going to the classes. I thought of bringing popcorn, but it don't make it, so I gave that idea up. And it's really exciting.
Well, a lot of daddies are afraid that they're going to lose their courage once they get in that waiting room.
No, I'm ready to be another Dr. Kildare, wear the uniform and do that.
Listen, did it bother you when you saw on the monitor that we showed you with KISS, and you've been away from them now for at least a couple of months? I'm not sure how long.
Oh, 12, 13 months.
That's a long time, a year.
Yeah.
Are you used to being without face, without the old Catman?
I'm getting the hang of it.
Yeah.
You know, I was with them 10 years, and I'm proud of that, because we made history, and it was a great moment in my life. But if you want to do something, I call it 110. You have to give that much. And I started getting tired of it, and I said, God, I want to try to do it on my own. I didn't want to hit the age of 40 someday and say, gee, could I have really made it on my talent and the schooling all the schooling I went to get more of my craft. And so I'm giving it a go now.
And toward the end, you were feeling a little trapped artistically, and you saw other artists who were making money, who were being very successful at some of the things that you wanted to do. I know you cited the Commodores as one of the people that were writing meaningful lyrics and doing some pretty stuff.
Yeah, exactly. The last album, well, my album that I recently did was called By Myself, which I am by myself now. It did fairly well, and I went in gung-ho, and I'm going to make it, and I know it's going to do it. And I found myself by myself now, and I learned a lot from that. And this time I'm going to take my time and go in with a little more, behind it. I'm not just going to rush in and produce it and do the cover. I had my wife on the cover. I didn't want to eat hamburgers.
Rather attractive wife.
She's very, very pretty. Yes, and it was either putting her on it or eating meatloaf for a week.
Yeah.
So I put her on the cover, and it did well. But I'm going to take my time to the next one, and I'm enjoying my life now. I'm waiting for the baby to be born, and I want to be there, and I want to be with my son or daughter, whatever it may be, as long as it's healthy. I really don't care.
Because once you start touring, it's going to be a lot of time away from home. You talk a lot about this. You complain about managers and promotion type people that push artists too hard.
That gets me in trouble.
Yes, well, yeah, because these people can kind of control your lives a little. But now that you're going to be out on your own, do you think that you will be able to control the long days out on the road and the days that you actually get the crazies and your personality changes?
Yeah, I do. Because now it's kind of like I'm the quarterback now. I'm calling the shots. And I will go out and tour. I have to go out and tour. I want to go out and tour. And it's exciting for me, but it won't be no more. It won't be 10 months out, and then you never see your home. You just pay the rent.
Yes.
And so it's easier now, and I'm being recognized now on the street. The funniest thing though is Sunday morning will come at 7 o'clock and on my door, and I'm coming down with a robe, and I open the door, and there's these kids with a blasting stereo. Can we have your autograph?
Oh.
I think it's great, but not 7 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, no, we don't want to be bothered by anybody.
Not 7, especially if you had a party the night before. You're not quite up to
Now, you see, this is going to be another problem, a different set of problems that you're going to have. Now they're going to know who you are, and now you're going to know what it's going to be hounded constantly.
It's okay with me because I love them. But not quite 7 o'clock in the morning. It's a little different.
Is your dad still alive?
Yes, he is.
How's it? He wasn't very supportive, let's say, of your drumming career. How does he feel about you now?
Oh, he loves me. I took lessons from Gene Krupa.
That was fascinating, yeah.
And he said, in the early days, he said, you'll never be another Gene Krupa. Because he grew up with the big bands, and I love the big band music. And now I'm another Gene Krupa to him, and we get along fantastic. And he supports me. My mother's my biggest groupie.
And she's a safe one. Your wife will approve of this.
Yes.
Peter, much luck to you, much success to you.
Thank you.
You're a nice guy, and you deserve all good things going on.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Jack.
Good luck.